Hey folks, just wanted to make a quick video today of something I'm doing. So I've had this street glide for about 3 months now, and one of the things I've noticed when I'm out on the highway is I don't seem to be going as fast as the speedometer indicates. It's not that dramatic, but I noticed when timing using the mile markers on the side of the highway, it's off by about 3 or 4 miles per hour. And so did a little research, and apparently this is not that uncommon. And I wasn't sure if it was something I could ever correct, but it turns out the PowerVision tuner that I have is something I can use to quickly correct it. So I'm going to show how I do that. My bike is a 2014 Street Glide, so touring model. I've removed the left saddlebag, and the left cover has 3 grommets that just pops off by hand, and that will reveal what you see here. The data port is the bottom one on this bike, and some people might not be sure which is which. Well, first of all, you can remove either of these by pushing them forward, and I had taken it off so it's loose, but these can take a lot of force sometimes. The one that's not the data port has 8 pins. The data port is technically a 6-pin connector, although I'm only seeing 5. When you look at the cable for the PowerVision, you'll see that it can have up to 6 pins. It will only connect one way. Click. So you don't have to worry about plugging it into the wrong thing. If it connects in, you know you have the right thing. Before we go any further, there's going to be some numbers you need to know. You have to take the speed that your bike says you're going, which I'm going to use 75 miles per hour, and divide it by the speed you're actually going, which in my case, when the speedo says 75, I'm doing 72. Now you can get that number a few different ways. You can calculate using the mile numbers posted on the sides of a highway. You can use a GPS, which shows miles per hour, or you can guess, and you can do this procedure a couple times until you hone in on it. But I'm going to take that 75, divide it by 72, and that's going to give me 1.04. So remember that. Now I'm going to put my bike in the on position, which is going to power up the PowerVision. I'm going to go to Program Vehicle, Quick Tune, and then I'm going to go to the Config tab. You'll see my VSS, Vehicle Speed Sensor, is set at 2153. I'm going to take that 2153 and I'm going to multiply it by 1.04. That gives me a new number of 2239, and that's what I'm going to put in here. There we go. Save. Yes. All right, we're done. Now I'm going to take the bike out for a ride and recheck my speedometer calibration. So my first guess at calibrating this was I changed the VSS based on 3 miles per hour. And even with that, it still wasn't right. I didn't have my phone on at the time because I couldn't get this mount on right. So I was just using the clock and the milepost markers. So I adjusted it again for 5 miles per hour, meaning speedo says 75 and bike is really only doing 70. And after doing that, riding up the secondary roads, it was spot on up to 60 miles an hour, and it looks like it's spot on now. Okay, so at 75 on the speedo, let's crank it up a little bit. 76 on the bike. So yeah, I am within 1 mile per hour. Alright guys, we are back home and she is all done. So I went from being about 5 miles per hour slower to actually being about a half mile an hour faster than what's on the speedometer. So when I got home, I did one final adjustment and adjusted down about a half mile per hour. So it should be right on. I'm super happy with being able to calibrate that speedometer. And if you had any questions about using the phone's GPS, which calculates miles per hour in the Maps app, those things are tremendously accurate. I actually tried it with my car using the milepost marks on the side, and when it said I went exactly a mile, that is exactly what I did. And I actually found my car was off by about 2 miles per hour, but nothing I can do about that. So hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time.